These are walk cycles with scrolling backgrounds that were done by juniors in high school, my students that are juniors in high school. Um, the parallax background is called a parallax because um, the sky and the sun move and the mountains move at different rates depending on how far away they are. This next one is much more professional because it was done by Sam Yarosa, who is a former student of mine, and they're now a college student at School of Visual Arts. We're now going on to the next section, which is how to make the cityscape in the parallax background. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So here I am in Photoshop, and you can see I have all these layers, and I just have to make sure that they're properly named so I know which is which. So this is sky, this is sun or moon, this is clouds copy, this is clouds, background, middle ground, foreground copy. Um, um, let's see. I'm just going to call this trees. This one, trees 2. And this one, foreground tree. Okay. This layer 1 is going to be changed to extreme foreground. And this top one will be changed to grass. All right. Now, before I go on, I just want to show you real quick how to make some buildings. So I'm going to go all the way to, let's see, the middle ground layer, and I'm going to add a new layer, new layer. And I'm going to call this one buildings. Okay. And it's really pretty easy to make buildings, especially like skyscrapers and city buildings. So I'll show you how to do it. You need to make your cursor pretty small. So there you go. And you're going to need to get a black. All right. Now, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click. Then I'm going to go up here and hold my shift key and click again. And it's going to connect my 2 dots with a straight line. So I've just clicked here. Now I'm going to hold my shift key down and click here. Now I'm going to hold my shift key down and click here. And then here. And then here. And then here. And you, as long as you hold your shift key down, it will connect. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to use my magic wand, which is the 4th tool down. Sometimes the magic wand is hidden under the quick select tool, but you can find it just by clicking and holding on the quick select tool, and hidden underneath it is the magic wand. Now, if I just click on that area to select it, I can do edit fill, and I can make it black, which looks okay, but I think I need it to be a little bit faded. So instead, I'm going to do edit fill. And instead of black, I think I'm going to pick 50% gray. All right, not bad. Maybe I need it a little darker. So I'm going to do image adjustments, curves. And I'll make it a little darker. So it's kind of like a dark gray. So now I'm going to do select, deselect. Okay, and I'm going to continue making some buildings. So I'm going to go back to my brush tool. I'm going to do click, shift key, shift key, click, 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 click. As long as you hold the shift key down, it will connect your lines with your any two dots where you last click and then where you next click with a straight line. So that's a nice trick, nifty trick. So I'm going to add another layer here. I'm going to do edit fill. I'll do 50% gray. And I want this to be a tiny bit darker, so I'm going to do image adjustments, curves, but I don't want it to be quite as dark as the last one, so I'm not going to pull it down quite as far. Give it a little variety. Okay, now select, deselect. Now, I have these buildings, but I don't like the fact that they have no windows. So I'm going to go here to my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to just draw a little rectangle and then hit the backspace key on my keyboard. And I'm going to do that a few times. Just hit the backspace key, hit the backspace key, and I'm going to get really fancy and make some round windows with my elliptical marquee tool. So don't forget, if you want it to be a perfect circle, hit the shift key. And then backspace. So select, deselect, and I've got my two buildings. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do layer, duplicate layer. And I'm going to take the top one, which is the copy, and I'm going to move it over just slightly. And when you do that, you can't move it too much, but if you do that, it gives it a sense of depth. So I'm just moving it a little bit. I'm going to go back to the, let's see, I could maybe even move it a little more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that layer, and I'm going to do image adjustments, curves, and this time I'm going to push it up a little. So what you find is that the one in the front is a little lighter, the one in the back is a little darker, and if you zoom in here with my magnifying tool, you're going to see that you have almost these 3D windows because you moved this over just slightly, and it gave the window a sense of 3D, this window a sense of 3D, and the edge of the building a sense of 3D. So that's really fun. Now what you can do is you can take building copy and building, and you can right click on the layer and you can do merge down. Now they're one layer. So now what you can do is you can do layer, duplicate layer. Okay, and now the one on the bottom, the one called buildings, you can take that one and you can make it a little, I'm going to move this one over, but you can take the one that's in the back and you can make it a little smaller. Edit, transform, scale, and you can make it a lot smaller. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm making the buildings far away and smaller. I can make them really tiny. As a matter of fact, if I want to, I can make them lower down so that they're behind the back mountains. There we go. Now they're behind the background. So that's fun. So I can make these ones smaller too. Edit, transform, scale. Because I don't want to hide my sun. And I think these should also be way back here. Maybe in front of these ones, I don't know. Give it a sense of depth. All right, now the other thing you can do is you can do edit, transform, distort, and you can make them kind of Dr. Sushi and fun by distorting the tops. So that's cool. All right, now I have my landscape with the different layers, and now I'm ready to think about exporting it. So I'm going to do File, Save As, save on your computer, and it's called Parallax Landscape. It's in my downloads, so I can find it easily, and I'm going to hit save.